Hello everyone. So last time we finished our treatment units topic, or you can say full chapter. Now we are going to start our new topic, which is wastewater disposal, or you can say disposing of sewage effluents, which we obtain from various treatment units. So first of all, why it is important to dispose? Because you know that the lot of effluent is produced from these treatment units, and we have to dispose it to somewhere. For disposing it, it is necessary that it should be properly treated, okay, before disposing it to the rivers, lakes or seas, anywhere you want to dispose it. Because if there is large quantity of organic matter present, or you can say other chemical toxic elements are present there, it will affect the aquatic life and the various other forms, or you can say it can also reduce the dissolved oxygen present in the rivers or sea oxygen sea. Okay, so it is important that it should be properly treated. So it is important. Why it is important disposal? Because the amount of treatment required to be given to a sewage depends upon very much on the source of disposal. Okay, suppose suppose you have to dispose your sewage to a river which is located near to the lake, where the water is supplied to the various homes, or you can say for drinking purposes, okay, at homes. So it is necessary that it should be properly treated so it does not affect the human health or cause diseases. Okay, so secondly, its quality, and third, capacity to tolerate the impurities present in sewage effluent. Okay, now there are generally two methods of disposal, which is dilution, that is disposal in water, and third is effluent irrigation or broad irrigation. Yeah, you can say sewage farming. It all these means that you have to dispose this sewage into the on the land. Okay, so in last videos I told you, when I'm telling you about sludge digestion process, okay, what happens there, the sludge formed at the end, it is dry to some extent and it is then used for farming purposes. Okay, and the gases which produced there are used for fuel. Okay, so here you can see this disposal we obtain from the treatment units can be used as a farming, or you can say you can be used as an effluent irrigation. Okay, so move on. First of all, we study about disposal of dilution. You can say disposal by dilution. In this, you can say it is the process by which the treated sewage or the effluent from the sewage plant is discharged into the river stream or a large body of water such as lake or sea. Okay, the discharged sewage in due course of time is purified by self purification of natural water. See, when you dispose this sewage into the river, lake or something, or you can say sea, it get mixed with a large amount of water, because rivers, seas contains large amount of water, and it is properly dispersed, or you can say diluted in these rivers or lakes. Okay, so due to this the concentration of the organic matter at one place is reduced, so that's why this dilution becomes efficient. Secondly, the river, like rivers, you can say rivers, what happens in the rivers, the water is continuously flowing. Due to this, it doesn't allow the sewage, or you can say organic matter, to settle there, or you can say sediment there for a long time. Due to their continuous flow, they take the sewage along with it, and due to this they get widely spread over the river. Okay, and their concentration is reduced. This is the method of dilution we use generally. Okay, you have seen many industries dispose their sewage, for example textile industries, or you can say any chemical industry dispose their waste directly into the rivers from where it gets dispersed. Okay, now conditions favorable for disposal by dilution. So in these cases we study in which conditions it is favorable that we can dispose our sewage to rivers, or you can say rivers, lakes, seas, anything. So first is when sewage is completely fresh. If the sewage is completely fresh, there will be less, you can say, bacteria present there, pathogenic bacteria present there, and there will be less nuisance in these sewage. It is generally 4 to 5 years old. Sorry, 4 to 5 hours old. Sewage is considered as fresh sewage. So if this type of sewage is there, you can dispose it directly to the rivers. Now second condition is when the diluting water has a high dissolved oxygen content. See, generally rivers, lakes have dissolved oxygen in it from where the aquatic life derive their oxygen from it. So if the sewage has high dissolved oxygen, it will not reduce the oxygen content in the rivers, because if there is less amount of dissolved oxygen present in the sewage, what happens? Due to this, the organic matter that goes into these rivers, what happens? The organic matter that goes into the rivers start to decompose by the bacteria. You can say aerobic bacteria which use oxygen for their decomposition. Due to this, the dissolved oxygen goes on decreasing, and it will ultimately affect the, you can say, aquatic life, plants, okay, fishes. Now third point is where diluting waters are not used for the purpose of navigation or water supply for at least some reasonable distance. That thing I already told you, that from where the water is to be supplied to our homes or anywhere else, it should be not disposed, the sewage should be not be disposed around that area, okay, because it will get mixed with that water and it will ultimately affect the health of the humans. Fourth point is where the favorable currents of diluting water are favorable, causing no deposition, nuisance or destruction of aquatic life. So in this case, what happens? Because when the flow rates, I am telling you about the rivers, there is a continuous flow of water. Due to this, what happens? The sewage will not accumulate at one point, it will continuously move with the flow of the river. So some particles settle down, which are going to settle down, they will also move due to high velocities. If there are high velocities, they move with it. It will not cause any deposition, or you can say if there is settlement of particles, or there is no velocity in the currents of the river, what happens? There will be anaerobic bacteria which will start decompose the organic matter. So this will cause nuisance, and it will even reduce the dissolved oxygen present in the water. So all these conditions are required if we want to dispose our sewage by dilution. Okay, so move on to next topic, which is, see here it is shown that this is the textile industry from which this water, this is bluish in nature, bluish in color, is going to mix with the river. This type of disposal I am telling about. Okay, now there are some standards of dilution for discharge of river patterns into rivers, which is given by our Royal Commission report. Okay, so firstly, when dilution factor, do you know what is dilution factor? In BOD you already read that. Dilution factor is what? It is the ratio of quantity of diluting water to that of sewage. Okay, it is the ratio of quantity of diluting water to that of sewage. It is known as dilution factor. Okay, in dilution factor, these are different values are given. If the dilution factor is above 500, no treatment is required. Sewage can be directly discharged into the volume of dilution water. So these are the different standards which is given by our Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay, so next is a dilution in rivers. Okay, now we start what happens if we mix the sewage in our rivers. As you know, when sewage is discharged into any of the natural body of river, it is we are discussing here rivers, but if in any case we consider like rivers, lakes, seas, what happens? The receiving water gets polluted due to the waste products, okay, present in these sewage effluents. But the conditions here does not remain constant for all the time, because there are some natural forces which are present, which helps in the self purification of these rivers. These natural forces include dilution, sedimentation, oxidation, reduction, which we discuss in the later. Okay, so these conditions will help the river for the self purification, means it will ultimately remove the sewage or can reduce its concentration. Okay, sedimentation, due to sedimentation what happens? The heavy solids settle down at the bottom, and from where aerobic bacteria decompose them. This automatic purification of polluted water is known as self purification phenomenon. This question many times comes in your exam, that what are the factors which helps in self purification of streams, or you can say rivers. So let us discuss one by one. These are the forces which help for purification. There are two types of forces. First is physical forces and second is chemical forces. Physical forces include dilution and dispersion, sedimentation, sunlight, and temperature. Okay, and chemical forces include oxidation and reduction. Okay, we will discuss one by one all of them. First is dilution and dispersion. In dilution and dispersion, what happens when any organic matter is discharged into any in large volume of water contained in a river? What happens? It gets rapidly dispersed and diluted. Okay, due to this, what happens? The action results in diminishing the concentration of organic matter and thus reduces their nuisance of sewage. Okay, here I am going to show you one thing. See, if the sewage concentration is CH, say, okay, if the sewage concentration is CS and the rate of flow of sewage is QS, it is discharge of sewage, and the into which it is flowing river. For example, in a river it is flowing, so the concentration of in river is CR, and their discharge is QS. Now, if the sewage is getting mixed with this, okay, with this river stream, then the total concentration, how can we find the concentration of the resulting mixture? So there is a one formula which is used generally. It is also in your medicals, that total concentration is equal to C is equal to CS, that is concentration of sewage, into QS, which is the discharge of the sewage, plus CR, that is concentration in river, into QR, which is discharge of river, divided by QS plus QR. Okay, this numerical will be used in our numericals, so remember it. Okay, next comes to our sedimentation part. In sedimentation, what happens? The level solids, if any is present in that sewage, they will settle down into the bed of the river and helping in self purification process. Okay, this is sedimentation. Now sunlight. In sunlight, what happens? The sunlight generally has bleaching and stabilizing effect of bacteria. Due to this, what happens? It helps certain microorganisms to derive energy from it and convert them into food from other forms, generally by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, this evaluation, the evaluation of oxygen in river water due to sunlight will help in achieving self-purification through oxidation. Okay, which we'll discuss here in next part, chemical forces. Here in sunlight, I'm saying that what happens when the sunlight enters, or you can say penetrates the river surface. What happens? Due to photosynthesis, some oxygen is produced, which is required in the in the form of dissolved oxygen present in the water. If this dissolved oxygen is present in the water, or some microorganisms like algae, which helps in the production of oxygen, it helps aerobic bacteria to decompose the organic matter present in the rivers. Due to this, they get decomposed easily. Organic matter present in the sewer decomposed easily. In this that way, the sunlight helps us in the self purification of streams. Due to temperature, what happens? Temperature also affects the rate of biological and chemical activities here. So due to this, when there is high temperature, what happens? The biological activities, which is I'm telling about decomposition, is generally increasing, and when temperature is low, it gets low. Okay. Now the thing I'm telling about that dissolved oxygen has also, the temperature has also affect the dissolved oxygen. Due to this, what happens at high temperature? At high temperature, the dissolved oxygen the concentration of dissolved oxygen present in the rivers generally decreases, and the rate of biological and chemical activities increase. Due to this, what happens? That the concentration, that the requirement of oxygen which is required by the aquatic life will be decreased. See, and vice versa. Okay. Now next comes to our chemical forces. Okay, first of all is here oxidation. Oxidation, you all know that the organic matter present in the sewage is decomposed by the various bacteria, that is aerobic and anaerobic bacteria present in the sewage. uh, okay, because aerobic bacteria requires oxygen for their survival. So if the dissolved oxygen is high, what happens? The organic matter are decomposed easily, and if oxygen is not present, then anaerobic bacteria exist, In anaerobic case, what happens? There will be a emission of whole gases and nuisance created in the water. Okay, so this oxidation means the organic matter which is present there is decomposed by the various bacteria and aerobic and anaerobic bacteria present in the rivers. Now, in reduction, what happens? Reduction is generally due to the organic matter which is present in the seepage is generally reduced to some liquefied state, like I told you in supernatant liquids. Okay, here the same phenomena occurs that the organic matter starts to uh, starts to decompose. This organic matter generally this settles down at the bottom, and due to their anaerobic process, what happens? They start to decompose the organic matter. Anaerobic bacteria helps in what? Anaerobic bacteria will help in separating the complex organic constituents of sewage into liquids and gases, and thus paving the way for their ultimate stabilization by oxidation. Okay, here the main in reduction, the main role is played by the anaerobic bacteria. Now, there are different zones of pollution in a river stream. Okay, these zones are zone of degradation, zone of active decomposition, zone of recovery, and zone of cleaner water. So you can understand it from this diagram. See here, here it is shown that the firstly there is cleaner water. From the graph it is shown here the cleaner water, then zone of degradation, zone of active decomposition, and zone of recovery, and then zone of clearer water. Firstly, the river is clear when there is no sewage and the dissolved oxygen will be 100%. And when we start disposing our sewage into this river, what happens? The dissolved oxygen started to go down because the bacteria present in the sewage start to consume dissolved oxygen present in the water for decomposition of organic matter, the various organic matter present in that. Due to this graph of dissolved oxygen goes down. Okay, so generally this zone of degradation is where this zone of degradation is just below the point where sewage is discharged into the river stream. This zone is generally characterized by water becoming dark and turbid with formation of sludge deposits at the bottom. Okay, in this case the dissolved oxygen is generally reduced by about 40%. See here the in the diagram, that dotted line shown here, that the in this case zone of degradation the dissolved oxygen goes to minimum 40% here. Okay, so in these conditions there will be no aquatic life because there is a large amount of sewage here with large chemicals present here. So these conditions are not favorable for aquatic life, and aquatic plants like algae and fish, they are not present here. They, if they are present, they will be dead. Okay, some typical type of, you can say here, some typical type of worms such as Lemurillus and Tubifex appear with this sewage fungi here in this zone. Okay, here the diagram shown, see in the table, see here some insects, you can say fish presence or bottom animals are shown here. With the help of these, if they are present in that water, you can understand that what type of zone it is. Okay, with the help of these creatures present here. Now move to our next, which is zone of active decomposition. Zone of active decomposition, from the name it suggests, it says that here in this zone decomposition is going on. Okay, means it is the highly polluted zone of the river. So in this area the water is characterized by becoming grayish and darker. Okay, then in last case, which means in zone of degradation. In this case, some evaluation of gases will take place like methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide. Okay, this happens in this zone. So due to this, some scum layer is formed at the surface. In this zone, what happens? See from the graph here, the dissolved oxygen goes to zero, and then it again rises, and at the end, at the middle of this active decomposition zone, the dissolved oxygen starts to go on increasing. Okay, see here at the end of this active decomposition zone, the dissolved oxygen again reaches to 40%. Okay, the next comes to zone of recovery. In zone of recovery, what happens? In zone of recovery, see here the dissolved oxygen starts to go on increasing here.
means the river starts to recover itself. So in this zone, the river attains its original condition with the dissolved oxygen rising up to the saturation value. Here is the saturation value, which is 100%. Water becomes, in this case, the water becomes attractive in appearance, and fishes, some aquatic life starts to survive there. Okay, this is our zone of recovery. The various fishes like tolerant fish like crab, buff, at star present in this zone. From these creatures, we can describe which type of zone is present in the area. In this zone, what happens, the water becomes clearer, and so the algae starts to reappear on the surface. BOD falls down and the dissolved oxygen starts to increase and rises above the 40% of the saturation. Means from here you can see the zone of active decomposition, it is 40%, and then it starts to increase in the zone of recovery. Okay, now next, which is last, which is zone of clear water. See in the graph here, in the zone of clearer water, the river attains its saturation value. Means the water becomes completely clear, and the fishes which survive in clear water starts to appear in this water. Okay, although some pathogenic bacteria may still present here, but you can say from the fact that once a river is when once a river water has been polluted, it will not be safe to drink it. Okay, so we have to properly treat it before we have to use it for further. Okay, so in next class we will discuss about the self purification, no sorry, self purification we discuss here. In next class we will start disposal in lakes. Okay, till then, okay, thank you.